This YouTube channel has lived in my head, not rent-free. It's cost me years of overthinking, self-doubt, and missed opportunities. Every week that goes by without creating feels like another week of stagnation. Over the years, I manifested so many of the things I once prayed for. Meeting and marrying the love of my life, getting a puppy, earning my master's degree, traveling to places I dreamed of. Yet, through it all, one thing hasn't changed. I still haven't started. I have constantly been torn, between wanting to be very private, but then also wanting to share and connect with others. The more social media has blown up, the less I want to put myself out there. The truth is I'm still hiding. Hiding from fear, from failure, from the vulnerability of being seen. And yet, the other part of me is absolutely tired of waiting. Tired of playing it small, tired of letting perfectionism hold me back. I don't feel ready, and I don't need to be. Readiness comes after taking action, not before. The feeling of readiness comes after you've taken action, not before. You're not going to feel ready before, especially if it's something that's difficult like this apparently is for me. Otherwise, you're just stuck in this cycle. You want to improve, but you don't actually start. Just like, that sounds a little familiar. Think about something that you've done in the past, something that you had no experience with, something that you were absolutely terrible at the beginning, which for me, immediately what comes to mind was over this summer being in Pilates. This was the first time I had ever stepped into a Pilates room. I don't even think I really knew what Pilates was. Technically, it's Legree, actually, but so first time at this class and struggled and suffered. I couldn't not just the moves. I couldn't even comprehend what they were telling us to do. I was like, wait, what? Like the carriage and the platform and the background. I was like, it was so much, all the different names, the wheelbarrow and all this stuff. I had no idea. I've learned so much since then, and it's just crazy. I mean, I'm no expert, and every class is still hard, but it is really cool to see wow, that was the beginning class. I was suffering the beginner's class. Now I'm it's not, I guess it's the normal class, not the advanced one though. Just think about things that you've done in the past that you didn't know what you were doing. Maybe it was the first time you started playing a sport, or the first time when you were in a certain class, you had no idea what was happening. Then you ended up passing or getting an A. The only way out is to just begin. The only way out is just to begin, even if it feels uncomfortable. If you're discouraged because you don't see anyone that looks like you, that sounds like you in the spaces where you want to be, you need to use that as motivation. Motivation to know that you have a unique perspective. There are people out there that do not yet feel represented in these spaces. You could be helping someone. I've been on both sides of that, I would say. So I understand how important that is, especially as a Black woman. On the other hand, if it feels like there are so many people that are already like you in these spaces, you have to remember that nobody has the same experiences as you. Sometimes I think that, there are all these women out here that are so well-spoken and just so beautiful, that are already killing it, have been killing it for years. And I have to remind myself, no one has had the exact same experience as me. No one that has the exact same lens on the world as you do. There are so many books in a library, right? There are so many books in a library. There's so many books on the same topic in a library, right? That each book brings its own perspective, its own voice, and that's the same with us. We all bring something different, and obviously a lot of us are gonna hopefully bring similar things. That way we have people that we can connect with and people that we align with, and that's the point of this, right? So, do you have any advice? Any words of wisdom for anyone else that may be going through a similar struggle?
And you had all these fears, right, of all these negative potential outcomes that could happen. And I think it's easy to go there, but it's also just as valid to think about all the positive outcomes and all the really great things that could come from it. I don't know. You tell me, what do you think helped the most in actually getting started?
Today,
Just yeah, like past few days or
it's been so many things. It's kind of like what we are talking about here. It's like the intentions, right? So okay, like why, like, I wrote my like creative manifesto. Like, yeah, why am I doing this? It's not just like, oh, I'm doing this for myself. It's like, okay, there's a purpose. I mean, your support,
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. That's been huge. Because, and I think just like hearing people's like judgments about each other, just like when you hear all that chatter, maybe like if I don't want people like talking about me, or if I don't want people like, or if I don't want to step on toes, or you feel like people have a certain like perception of you, and you feel like, oh, I need to like fit into this, people pleasing, right? Like I need to like fit into that to appease like what they think of me, because like they don't know this side of me, and like what happens if, you know what I mean, which is very, very dumb. Obviously. But yeah, it's like that's where like the instincts go to, which I think I'm getting better at that. But
Yeah.
focus on completion, not perfection. So choose just three core elements that you're going to focus on for this project. You can write them down, have a list that you refer to for the next project, and maybe next time it's like you do 4 elements and then 5, and you just slowly keep going from there. My 3 for this video: 1, vulnerability. I wanted to just share my struggles. Secondly, include b-roll clips. I just, once again, I just want to make sure that those didn't go to waste. This is just me kind of like making it meaningful for me. The last thing is I wanted to make sure to provide actionable steps. I'm just like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. It's like, okay, we'll get there. But for now, let's do like even less than we think. If you think it's just like 2 things, like whatever you need, like you need to make this process as doable as possible for you. I think is going to be best, and what I'm planning on doing, which is a little scary, is so just write it down somewhere, write it publicly, I'm gonna say like new videos every, like vlogs every Sunday, and overcoming yourself series, these types of videos. I need to decide on the day, but you need to commit, and yeah, give it to someone, tell someone else. That way you kind of have someone to hold you accountable, because otherwise it's hard, right? Because you're like tomorrow, the next day, and sometimes it takes a lot to overcome that, and it's definitely doable. You definitely can. But I'm just saying, for right now, let's just make it as easy on ourselves as possible. If you don't make the deadline, that's not the worst thing in the world. It's like, you don't stop, you don't like abandon everything. It's okay, life happens. Maybe that means you need to have more realistic deadlines with yourself too. Yeah, I'm going to need to give myself a deadline. And then, kind of related to this, is you want to have an accountability partner, someone that you can check in with. So for me, that's my partner. For you, it can be anyone that you have that's close to you in your life. Even if you want to just like put it in the comments, honestly, and then like we can keep each other accountable. Actually, I think that would be good. And if you want to share what it is that you're starting, I would be honored to just support you in that. So, bonus tip here. So, one thing I really like to do is body mirroring, and so sometimes like surrounding yourself with people who are doing the same thing that you're doing can be really motivating. And so yeah, sometimes like I'll just go to like a library or a cafe where other people are working, and it really helps me get in the zone and get in the flow a lot faster. And then I also try to like keep my phone away. I'm like, okay, as soon as I enter the library or whatever, like I'm not looking at my phone, right? I think it's because seeing others in action often encourages us to take action ourselves. So yeah, this is body mirroring, so that's a really good hack too. And there are also videos on YouTube that you can watch, and they're like study with me videos, or like, whatever with me videos. So I've used those actually. So yeah, if you can't like physically go anywhere, then I recommend checking that out. So I used to think that planning and preparation were progress. And really, it was just holding me back because I never started, right? So that is what this whole thing is about. And I'm done. I did it. I just want to acknowledge it for a moment. Yeah, I don't know how good it's going to be, but yeah, so I did it. So that's good. This YouTube thing, it's really testing you. Oh my God. Like nobody, or maybe, I don't know, maybe people talk about it, I guess. I'm like, I need therapy just to become a content creator. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Please, and if you relate, please, like, you have to leave a comment. You have to let me know that I'm not alone in this. Because it's like, man, like, I feel like it just really feels like, I don't know, very vulnerable, I guess, which is what I'm trying to do here on one hand. But it's like, it sounds nice in theory, but it's just very uncomfortable, like the action of that, right? But we got to do it because we got to inspire each other. We got to encourage each other. This is part one of the Overcoming Yourself series. Yeah, I'm very excited. We're going to explore themes like perfectionism and imposter syndrome, fear of being seen, perceived, and all of those types of topics. And I want to be part of the people that are out here that are expressing their thoughts and that are exchanging ideas. So, part two will be up next week. That's going to dive into a different side of self growth. And then, yeah, I'm also going to sprinkle in some like lifestyle and vlogs, like travel vlogs. But yeah, I just want to take this time right now, just to kind of like do like whatever I feel like, whatever feels inspiring. If you want to connect in real time, I just started being active on Instagram again at Sophiosi _. And yeah, I just want to thank you so much for sharing this time and space with me. Thank you for any good vibes that were sent while you were watching this. Any of this resonated, please let me know. If you were on the other side of this, please share how you were able to move forward. I think that would be really helpful to hear hear different perspectives. It's honestly gonna be really cool reading the comments. No pressure. No pressure. But I mean, yeah, it's gonna be cool because it's like, yeah, this was my whole thing. I was like, man, I don't know if I am ready to like put myself out there for real, you know? But I did it, and we're done. And yeah, this is yeah, and if you know somebody that is working towards something, show them this video. This is how you move forward despite the fear. And yeah, you just do it one at a time. You just do the next thing, and then the next thing, then the next thing. So, oh, I'm about to get emotional, you know? Yeah, it feels very good. And yeah, I'm very happy to go to sleep. It's 2:30 a.m. All right, bye. Ooh, that feels good. Done. Share.